Let's be honest, our online life is a mess, right? We've got dozens of accounts, a mountain of passwords, and our personal info is scattered all over the internet. It feels like we've given away little pieces of ourselves, but we don't really own any of it. Well, today we're diving into a really powerful idea that could change all that. It's called decentralized identity, and it's all about how we can finally take back control of our digital selves. So let's just set the stage here. We're in the middle of what you could call a full-blown identity crisis. I mean, we're hearing about identity theft, hacked accounts, and these massive data breaches almost every single day. The way we've been doing things, with all our precious data locked away in separate corporate databases, is, to put it mildly, just not working anymore. It's broken.
And this really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? Who is actually in the driver's seat when it comes to your digital life? The answer is kind of unsettling, because right now, it's not you. It's the social media giants, the online stores, all these different service providers. They're the ones holding the keys, and let's face it, we've seen over and over again that they aren't always the most reliable guardians of our information.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. It's a tale of two worlds. The old way, the world we live in now, is built on centralized databases where, let's be real, you are the product. Your data is the thing being sold. But there's a new promise on the horizon, one built on a simple idea: user-controlled identity. A world where you, and only you, hold the keys. So, what is this new promise? Well, it's built on a technology called decentralized identity, or DID for short. And it is a complete 180-degree shift in how we think about this stuff. It's about moving the power away from the big corporations and putting it right back where it belongs, with you, the individual. And right at the heart of DID is this incredibly powerful concept: self-sovereign identity. I mean, the name says it all, right? You are the sovereign, the ruler of your own data. You have the final say, the ultimate authority over your personal information. It's your data kingdom. So what does this actually look like in real life? Well, let's break it down. First up, you get total control. You decide exactly what to share and with who. Next, privacy. You can prove you're over 21 without ever showing your actual birthday. Then there's portability, which means your identity isn't trapped on one platform. And finally, interoperability. So it just works everywhere. It sounds absolutely perfect, doesn't it? Well, there's a catch. And here's the big twist in the story. Even with this amazing, brilliant technology, getting people to actually use it has been surprisingly tough. It turns out that building a whole new system for identity is a lot more complicated than just writing some clever code. Let's just look at a real-world case. South Korea launched this big government-backed mobile ID back in 2022. Sounds great, right? But 2 years later, only 4 million people have signed up. Now, 4 million sounds like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not. So why the slow start? Well, the research points to things like confusing sign-up processes, not enough places to actually use it, and frankly, not enough people even knew about it. The tech was ready, but the people weren't on board. And this quote from the research paper we're digging into today just hits the nail on the head. It says that focusing only on the tech can lead to, well, significant failures. We've been so obsessed with the cool stuff, the blockchain, the cryptography, that we've kind of forgotten about the human side of the equation. You know, things like trust and ease of use and who's making the rules. Okay, so to fix this, the researchers are proposing a whole new way of looking at the problem. They call it a socio-technical system. It's a fancy term, but the idea is simple. You have to think about the people, the rules, and the code all working together, perfectly in sync. Now, this framework here might seem a little intimidating at first glance, but the big idea is actually super straightforward. The researchers are saying that for any of this to work, you need to balance two things. Over on the right, you've got the technical track. That's all the geeky stuff we expect, like security and privacy. But just as important over on the left is the socio track. This is all about the human stuff. Is it easy to use? Do we trust it? Are the rules fair? The big insight here is that you can't just have one without the other. They have to go hand in hand. So let's zoom in on that socio side for a second. It's got the stuff you'd expect, right? Make it user-friendly, build trust, have clear rules. But the researchers added something new and really crucial to this list: operational effectiveness. And on the technical side, you've got your usual suspects: decentralization, privacy, security, all the heavy hitters. But here too, the researchers added a brand new critical piece: multifunctionality. So what on earth do these two new things actually mean? Operational effectiveness basically means this can't just be some cool tech experiment. It has to actually work in the real world. It needs to be efficient,
It needs to help businesses save time and money. Because let's be honest, if it's too expensive or a pain to set up, nobody's going to bother using it. And multifunctionality? That's all about you, the user. The system has to be dead simple to use. It needs to be genuinely helpful in your everyday life, and it has to be flexible enough to add new features down the road. It has to provide real, tangible value to the person actually using it.
So with this new, balanced socio-technical way of thinking, the paper lays out a full-on blueprint, a master plan for building an identity system that people and businesses will not only trust, but will actually want to use.
They break it down into 4 main layers, kind of like building a house. At the very bottom, you have the foundation, a super secure, trusted blockchain ledger. Then you build the next floor, the application layer. This is where you actually interact with services. On top of that, a really important governance layer that sets all the rules. And finally, the roof, the ecosystem layer that connects everything together from your work ID to your bank login.
And here, you can see how it all comes together in one cohesive system. This diagram shows the whole flow. You've got an issuer, think of it like the DMV, creating a digital driver's license. You've got the holder, that's you, with your digital wallet on your phone. And you've got the verifier, say, a website that needs to check it. All of these interactions are supported by those clear governance rules and that secure ledger we just talked about. It's a complete, trustworthy system from top to bottom.
Okay, let's bring this all back down to earth. What does a future that's actually built on this kind of smart, trustworthy system look and feel like for you? Just imagine, you could walk into a bar and have your phone prove you're old enough to be there without ever showing your name, your address, or even your date of birth. Or imagine signing up for a new online service with just a single secure tap, no more creating yet another password that you're just going to forget anyway. That is the kind of world this architecture makes possible. So how do we actually get there? Well, the paper gives us a pretty clear to-do list. Technologically, we need to use open source standardized tech so everything works together. For the market, we have to think bigger than just IDs, think about all kinds of digital credentials, and create business models that actually last. And from a policy side, governments need to step up with smart, flexible rules that encourage all this new innovation. In the end, it's pretty clear that the technology is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. What this research really shows us is that building a better digital world means we need a plan that cares just as much about society as it does about the tech. So the real question isn't just whether the tech is ready for us, it's whether we're ready for the tech. Are we ready to completely rethink how we handle trust, rules, and control, also we can finally reclaim our digital self?